So here we are, everyone. Happy Monday, and hope you are having a fabulous time. Hello, Treasure House. So here I am. I'm topless. Who would have thought? I am actually topless for this, which is very exciting. Now, don't get excited. Today we're going to talk about whiplash. So there we go. Hey Theo, look at me. I am topless. Here we are. We're talking about whiplash today. Now, I don't know if you all know about whiplash and what whiplash is, and the sort of injuries that can be caused by a seatbelt. When you crash in a car, you will be propelled forward, but your seatbelt will keep you back. So the things that will happen in this instant will be bruising across here, here. You'll get fractured ribs, you'll get fractures in the sternum, cuts and lacerations, head injuries, whiplash, neck injuries, and spinal injuries. So you're going to have a lot of damage caused by car accidents. So in today's little video, we're talking about a little bit of a bruising caused by the seatbelt. Now, obviously, the seatbelt will be worn this way or that way, depending if you're driving. As I'm left-handed, we're going to go with this one. So here we go. Let's give this a go. We are working today. We're going to be using what shall we use today? We're going to use Mehron Paradise Pro Coloring. Actually, Mehron Pro Coloring SFX. So this is Mehron Pro Coloring SFX. Okay, and I'm going to be using a little bit of alcohol to thin the color down. And what we do is we will start with we're going to start with a nice yellow all over. Okay, so I've used a bit. Oh, dear me, she dropped the brush. I used this surgical tape just to do the layout, so you see where I'm going with it. So we start with a nice yellow. Let me sort my tapes out. There we go. And you want it quite tight, okay, because you want it really tight into the area. And don't be worried about going over the tape, because that's why you got the tape. Essentially, you got the tape as a guide. So we're going to start with a yellow base bruise. Let me just do a quick sharing. Oh, there, she nearly dropped it. Okay, can I share this? No, not yet. Okay, fine. Well, let's crack on. So we start with a nice yellow. The reason with that is we're going to work with a blue-yellow bruise today, which is a bit old. Sort of, you're talking about up to a week old, potentially. Yeah, about a week old. And it's very important you really know your bruise physiology, because when you're working on bruise physiology, you need to know the age of the bruise. Because if you know the age of the bruise, if the director says to you, right guys, 3-4 day old bruise caused by, in this case, car accident, caused by your safety seatbelt, then you know exactly what you're looking at. So I really want you to sort of make sure you keep adding the color, but don't drag the color, okay? I really don't want you to drag the color. I want you to sort of stipple the color. It's very important. Hello, David. I want you to stipple the color on, because by stippling the color you will create a nice 3-layer effect. 3D effect layers. Now, as you can see, working on your own is not the easiest of things, so you must excuse me. Now, the areas where the collarbone is, which is there, the skin is much higher because you have a bone underneath, which means it is a potential that your bruise will be a lot higher in the skin, which means it could be stronger, depending what you're looking at. Okay. So anyone that joined, we're looking at a bit of whiplash caused by belt in the car. Now, it's bloody difficult to do this when you can't actually see what you're doing. But you know, we're getting there, we're getting there. So, again, for those of you joined, we are using the Pro Coloring by Mehron. And the Mehron Pro Coloring is the Bruise Pro Coloring, okay? So shout out to the lovely Treasure House and Mehron UK, who have fabulously sorted out this emergency stay-at-home makeup kit for me. Now, now you can start creating different areas of texture as you go along. So I'm having to do this kind of weird thing. So I have an extended chest. Ooh, she just slipped. There we go. Didn't want to do that. So there you go. So you want to kind of work on these little areas as you go along. Yeah, there you go. You see, you can start creating this sort of mottled effect. Don't be too perfect about it, because bruises don't appear like that, you see. Bruises appear more, so there's my collarbone. Now, I do have a collarbone. Okay, it's not as prominent as it should be. It used to be, but it is there. So let's work on my lovely collarbone, shall we? There we go. So we carry on having a lovely whiplash caused by our seatbelt. As I said, when you get propelled forward, you will get propelled forward, but the seatbelt will drag you back, which is why you get these bruises. Now in this case, I'm just going to add a little bit of detail. The bruise is probably about, I don't know, 3, 4, maybe 5 days old. So we don't have a lot of red, because red has disappeared. The oxygen that was in the red blood cells has started to dissipate, to be broken down. Hence you have blue, which is deoxygenated blood, and a little bit of yellow, because the hemoglobin in the red blood cells has been broken down to biliverdin and bilirubin. Now, bilirubin is yellow, biliverdin is green, which is why you get green and yellow appearing in bruises. Hello, James Sayers. So, for those of you, I don't know if any of you have ever had this type of injury before, but I have, and it's bloody painful. Okay. Now, I haven't really picked the best bloody angle to do this, but never mind. We're going to work with it. We're going to work with it, people. We're going to work with it. Now, noticed I started, hello Juan, the lovely Juan, fabulous Juan. makeup artist has just joined. He is an internationally acclaimed makeup artist, fabulous fashion specialist, colour master for Coagulated. Now we have the gorgeous Johnny Hooley has joined us. Now Johnny Hooley, internationally acclaimed stylist. I had the pleasure of working with Miss Hooley on quite a few campaigns by Zara. And hello, Miss Hooley. We also have the gorgeous Seventa Makeup Academy. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I teach for Seventa Makeup Academy. I am the head of SFX Makeup, and they are fabulous. We're based in Soho, and we run various courses. Now, as you can see, we are really working in the detail of the injury. And for those of you, I'm sorry that you have to experience me topless, but there you go. I am topless, ladies and gentlemen. I am topless. I'm very excited that you've joined me, Johnny Hooley. Now, Miss Hooley, if any of you ever need a fabulous stylist, she can style men, she can style women, children, dogs, mannequins, whatever you throw at her. She is fabulous. Now, keep working that detail on people, okay? You really want the... thank you, Juan. You really want the detail to be building across your bruise, okay? Now I am using, hello Raphael Hilton. My God, I haven't seen this queen in years. Hello Raphael. You really want the detail to be building up. What you're trying to create as a special effects artist, excuse me, you're trying to create the illusion of something that should be there that's not there. So your job as a makeup artist is to really build this on. Now I am using grease paints. Believe it or not, this is not alcohol colors. These are grease paints. Now you say to me, well, how is it grease paints? Why does it look like an alcohol color? Well, I am using a little bit of IPA and I melt and I blend it out. Now what you do by this, you are breaking down the color. Grease paints can have a very sheer, strong color, which sometimes is not what you're looking for. However, in this case, we are just we're breaking down the color using grease paints. Now I actually can't see what I'm doing, so I'm gonna have to go a bit closer. I'm sorry. Now, at the moment, it looks like a child's doodling pad. However, I can guarantee you there is a plan to this. Now, you then get yourself a little wipe, a little bit of alcohol, and just dab it down. See what I mean? It just takes a little bit of the colour away, but not much. So anyone that joined, we're working on a little bit of bruising caused by whiplash. So in this case, my seatbelt. Okay. So we carry on. Now there is no red in this bruise, people, because this bruise is over 4 or 5 days old. In this case, the hemoglobin in the red blood cells has started to break down. So there we go. And because it started to break down, it's not there anymore. It's broken down into biliverdin, well, in this case bilirubin, which is yellow, and then later on it might get broken down to biliverdin. It doesn't always. Well, it does, but it just doesn't show. Now, you must really know your physiology about bruise if you're going to create realistic bruises, okay? Very important. Now, the one thing, when you're, hello, Miss Patterson, the creator of Jackie Swallows. Here she is. Now, the one thing when you're doing any of this work is just try to imagine what it would look like. Okay, if you don't have a clue, if you're not that way inclined, think about what it would look like on an image. Okay, well, look at a realistic image. Ideally, you want a realistic image, not a makeup image. But if you don't have one, Wait, let me just wave on you. There we go, so I can actually see what I'm doing. Now, at the moment, you'll see later on, when I take the guide, it's going to be very clean. Now, we don't want that, so we then have to mess it up a little bit. But we will do that later. Okay. So here we go. Just working that bruising to the skin. My card just moved. Can you believe it, Jack? I'm actually exposing my chest to the world. Something that I never, ever do. Right, okay, here we go. Not being able to see yourself is actually surprisingly hard to do this. I didn't actually quite pick a good area to do this, but never mind, never mind. Never mind. We just carry on. So again, for those of you who have just joined me, we're just doing a quick bruise caused by a car accident. Okay. So we keep adding we're working on blues and yellows, not necessarily mixing anything else. I'm just getting a clean glass so I can rinse my little brush. Now, because this is an old bruise, we're not adding any red. And just keep building it, really. You just keep building the area. Now, what I'm going to do, I think, what am I going to do? So we got the seatbelt there, so I was dragged forward that way. Oh, there we go, I was dragged. But then I'm going to hit my, well, we'll just extend the bruise a little bit. Because to be honest, if you get this, the amount of force there pushing you, essentially you go forward, the seatbelt goes back, which is what keeps you safe. The bruise will extend a little bit, okay? Now sometimes with grease paint, you see you get these little brush marks, and the idea is you want to try to break those down as much as possible. This is because grease paint moves slightly differently to alcohol colors, okay? It doesn't get broken down as much. It doesn't help that I can't see what I'm doing. But, well, we're getting there. I quite like the colour. What do we think? Oh, the lovely, gorgeous soprano Natalia has just joined. This amazing, fabulous, well-renowned soloist has joined. Hello, Natalia. We're just doing a bit of an injury caused by car crashes today. Right. Are we happy with the colour? Do we like the colour? I think we do. Yes, I'm quite happy with the colour. So, okay, there we go. That one's off. That one's off. this is the first one. Now, obviously you can see this is very, very boom, liney, okay? You can get that type of thing, but it will not, sometimes it does fade a little bit. So now what I need you to start doing is I need you to start taking out some color. Okay? Just start breaking down a little bit. So we just break it down so it's not too in your face. Okay. Then we want to break the barriers down a little bit now. Just blend these barriers in a bit. It's a bit of an older bruise, so as you blend them in, it's not a bit of a it's not a huge problem. Now, I'm just using quite a bit of alcohol now, just to blend it into the skin. Okay. You just want to make it slightly more organic. Okay, it's very important to make the piece more organic. Now, I'm just going to start adding a little bit of red. Just to blend it in to the skin, you see now. This is what happens now. Just add a tiny, tiny bit of red. And as we add the bit of red, and we break that line down, yeah, that's looking good. Right. And the red, as I said, comes in later, okay? Not at the beginning, because it's not a red-based bruise. What it is a bruise caused by an injury, and you might still have a remnant of red hanging around. So this is an older bruise, as you can see. So we still have some remnants of potentially red. Potentially, yeah? But what we want is to just break that barrier down a little bit so it doesn't appear so clean. See what I mean? And it suddenly just becomes a little bit more workable. You just want to keep creating that sense of illusion. And you're trying to stipple down. Fortunately, I can't see particularly well, but by stippling down, you can see what we're trying to create. 1 second. So anyone just joined me, we're working on the car crash accident bruise caused by safety belt. Now, because I'm being propelled forward and my belt is holding me back, the pressure here would probably cause a bruise to go down the arm as well. So we'll keep working on that. Thank you, Theo. It's a little bit, I have to say, I haven't chosen the best position for this because I'm having to rely on what I'm seeing on the screen rather, because obviously I can't bloody see my bloody shoulder. So people, excuse me, running notes. So for those of you that do a bruise on yourself, just be aware that you should be able to see what you're doing. Now, just keep layering. Now, as you can see I've got the red coming in? Yeah? Now that red means that the majority is yellow and blue, which means we're sort of on the 3 to 4 to 5 day old bruise. Now I'm very white and I bruise this color. Some people don't go this color. Depending what your color, what your skin has, you will go different colors. However, this is sort of a standard aging. Now in this case, I'm adding a little bit of red just to I'm handling like a pro. Well, you know, it's hard, isn't it? I don't know about you, those of you makeup artists out there. I have a lot of respect for those of you that like to do demos on yourself. I don't. It is hard and I don't like to do it, but I want to reach out to everyone. And Mehron and Treasure House, we want to really help people doing isolation. So we decided to work on these videos. So I'm just extending the bruise out a little bit. Oh, what is the gorgeous Oz? Oz is a fabulous, fabulous singer-songwriter musician. Hello, Oz. So again, if you've just joined me, we've got a bruise caused by whiplash. My seatbelt saved me back when I went forward in the car. Okay. Oops. There we go. Right. Let's have a look. So now we're moving the bruise down a bit because in this case, I feel we've had the injury kind of come down a little bit. Now, I'm not using alcohol paints, people. I am using Mehron Pro Coloring Bruises. Okay, just have a bit of spillage into my green. Notice I haven't added any green yet, but I will be adding some green. Don't you worry about that. Okay. Right, working on yourselves. Okay, what look. So if you're gonna go for effects, guys, I really perfect your bruising technique. And I would probably work around the mouth area, chin and mouth. Eyes can be a bit funny, especially if you're working with alcohol. You might not want to get too close. So if you are a young artist new to the craft and you want to learn how to use your coloring, use the mouth, the chin area, layer the product slowly, don't overdo it. Okay, take your time. There's no one rushing you except yourself. Remember, the rules when it comes to effects makeup change. You don't have to create the look in 30 minutes flat, unlike if you were doing a retail makeup or a fashion makeup, okay? You really can take your time with this. So, as you can see, I started adding the red, the kind of maroon. This color is, it's called Bem Maroon. And I mixed it with my bloody rose. So that's my bloody rose there, and this is my Bem Maroon there. Looks brown, but it's actually red. It's got a lot of red undertones, and what it does, it just brings the bruise back to the skin. adds that element. You've also got to remember that bruises don't age at the same speed. So just because this area has aged quickly doesn't mean this area hasn't. So it might take longer to start changing color, you see. So we keep adding. Okay. I'm trying to just, because the bruise will never be just confined to would not just be confined to the shoulder, but it would kind of bleed out a bit, because as you have depression on the epidermis, which is here, the middle layer of the skin, as the epidermis, sorry, the dermis even, middle of the skin gets squashed down, capillaries will burst, but also spread out, which is what you get here, you see. Now, if you have a flabby arm, like I do, you're going to get, you potentially have quite a lot of bruising there as well. As I said, near the collarbone it's going to be quite strong, which is why we've got the blue. And I'm going to add a bit more actually. So really take your time and enjoy the process. Really enjoy the process. I'm just going to move this down a little bit. There we go. Really enjoy the process of adding colour. Okay. We're getting there, we're getting there. It's looking good. Now, I don't know if all of you, but if you've been struggling just being on your own, being stuck, please reach out. Reach out to myself, reach out to Treasure House, reach out to Mehron. Please keep talking to us, keep sending us makeups. Don't get stuck in a well of feeling down on your own. We're all going to get through this together, and it's very important that we just keep creating. It's one of the reasons as creatives we do what we do, because we like to create. Now, the one thing I'll say about working with grease paint, ladies and gentlemen, is that you won't be able to layer the same way you would be able to layer with something like the Ben Nye Bruise palette. Grease works a bit differently, and it does move. I'm sorry, reach out to also to Seventa Makeup Academy. We're here for you. Everyone's here. And as I was saying, grease paint doesn't always layer as well. So you just got to take your little care, because otherwise you might move it with the alcohol. And that's the one thing I'll say. Alcohol colours are designed to be layered. Broken down, emulsified grease with alcohol is not designed to be layered. Okay. And look, as a bonus, you get to see me topless. Well, I'm not going to show you the below because, you know, staying in baking cakes has not done me any good, people. No one wants to see that. I lose all my followers. Oh, it's a gorgeous Sonia, fabulous conductor, has just joined the chat. Hello Sonia, we're just doing a quick injury caused by car accident on a safety belt, seat belt. See what I mean? The red really brings in the green and the blue in. It just brings it in. It ties it together, especially if you're pasty like me. Ah, Lord Hicks, fabulous cabaret performer, queer performer. Hello, Lord Hicks. Now, I don't know if any of you have had this type of injury, but I have, and it's hideous. It bloody hurts, and it's quite scary actually, because it looks really bad. It looks really, really bad, but it's actually, it's just there, but unfortunately it just looks worse than it is, always. So we just keep, I'm just layering colour really at the moment. That's what I'm doing. It's all about layering colour and keep building it. See? You just keep building. I'm going to layer a bit more. I'm enjoying this. As you can see, it's turned out, it looks green. It's not green, it just looks green. I will add some green just to show you how the green ends up looking, okay? Oh, someone just sent me a little note. Ah, lovely question from Seventa Makeup Academy. Do you think that SFX is a good skill to have? The basics, even if it's not your main skill as a makeup artist. Absolutely. Now, when it comes to SFX and prosthetics, it's a very specialized area. However, even in fashion, I have sometimes come across designers that want to, you know, give the model a bruise on one side. Maybe she's got a fabulous face on one side, but then she's got the kind of broken down look. So actually being able to do sort of what we call out of kit basics is fabulous. And we run these courses that we run at Seventa Makeup using the Treasure House makeup kit are designed for exactly this. They're designed for beginners in SFX, artists who may be artists, have been artists for a long time, but maybe special effects is just not their thing, or they haven't experienced enough, or they want to try it and see what they think. Okay, I run what we call out of kit courses, casualty courses. We also run the beginners to flat molding. Gorgeous student of mine, Quinn Parry from Brunel University, fabulous actor, has just joined. Hello, Quinn. As you see now, I'm bringing the green in. Hello, Pam, lovely Pam London. Pam London, we're just doing a Bruise course by a car accident. Using an out of kit, I'm using the Mehron Pro Colouring. So I'm not using alcohol paints, Pam London. I'm not using alcohol paints, ladies and gentlemen. I'm using broken down grease paint. I want to show you how you can do this with grease. And another day, I'll use alcohol. But today, it's all about grease. It's quite hard to see, but I think I'm getting there. So keep moving the colour about. Now, notice I am stippling using my Bdellium Thomas Supernant brush number 193. Bdellium 193. So we keep building the layers. Now this is quite an old bruise, you can see it's old, okay? It's lost the redness of a fresh bruise. We've lost the hemoglobin of the blood left over inside the bruise, and it's turned into biliverdin and bilirubin. Biliverdin is the green, well, bilirubin comes first, which is, blue comes first, which is deoxygenated blood, moves into bilirubin, which is the yellow, turned into biliverdin, which is the green. Now, I will say it again, depending on what you have on your skin, you may not see all these colors at once, okay? So don't panic. I, for example, tend to go this kind of color immediately. So it's a case of knowing collarbone, here we are, trapezoid muscle, knowing what happens to the inside, knowing your physiology. It's very important. I can't say it enough. Thank you, Quinn. Yes, we'll see you for a lesson this week, I think. It's about knowing what happens inside the skin. Really be all over your anatomy and physiology. Don't rely on images. Really know what's going on in the skin. I am very lucky. I grew up with medical parents, surgeon, clinical nurse specialists, and I actually have a degree in biology. I did 2 years of anatomy, so I'm very lucky because this is ingrained in me. It has been most of my life. So see this line here, I've decided that's when I'm gonna put a little bit of a scab. I'll put a little bit of thick blood which I'll put a bit of Ben Nye fresh scab. How will the color differ based on shoulder, chest versus breastbone? Okay, so the color doesn't differ. It depends on what the skin has. What happens is it's not the differ of. Oh, sorry, I'll start it there. I'll answer the question again. The closer the skin to the bone, the more injury you'll have because there's more impact against the bone. So, for example, on the chest there, you don't have there's not a lot of capillaries, there's not a lot of space. So you will get some bruising. However, where you have fleshy areas, like here, potentially there's a lot more skin, there's a lot more capillaries, so you will get more intense. I don't know if any of you have seen if you look at a surfer, when they fall, or a skateboarder, when they fall off the skateboard or surf, and you see the side of the leg or the bum, which is really fleshy, you see this really black bruises because there's a lot of capillaries, there's a lot of blood flowing through there. Now here, the chest bone, you do have blood. Of course, you've got blood vessels, but there's not the density you have on a fleshy area. Okay. Now, by the way, you can also bruise muscles and internal organs. Those you wouldn't see, but they might show through. They might show through from if you are very translucent, you might see some bruising of the muscle, but it's very unlikely. So we're doing a bit of a injury caused by seatbelt. This area here, I'm going to put I'm going to end up putting a bit of fresh scab by Mehron, by Ben Nye, but I'm also going to put a bit of coagulated blood by Mehron. Both available from Treasure House of Makeup. Thank you again, Treasure House, for sending me my emergency stay-at-home kit. All my kits are in the studio at Seventa Makeup Academy in Soho, so unfortunately without them I wouldn't have been able to do these videos. So you can see it's really building in, and actually, I mean, with this kind of look you can really take as long as you want, or as long as you're given. Normally you could get about, if you needed to do this rush you could do it very, very quickly, but to do a good job I would take about 40-45 minutes, an hour maybe. Obviously if you're talking it's a bit harder to do. There you go. So you really, so the main edge of injury is there. You can really see the injury. However, it has spilled a bit, okay? Because as I said, I'm going forward. The belt's coming back like that. This is the main area of injury, but it will spill downwards a bit. Depends how you fit. I mean, I've had whiplash before, and it ended up all the way here and across here as well. Gorgeous Gabriella, another fabulous makeup artist, has just joined. So all of you, I am not using alcohol paints today. I am using the Mehron Pro Coloring from Treasure House of Makeup, Mehron UK, and I'm diluting it with alcohol, okay? No grease, no alcohol paints whatsoever. That will probably be tomorrow, or sorry, Wednesday or Friday, but not today. I want to show you that you don't need, obviously it's ideal, but you can create really nice effects using the basics. And when you're a beginner, sometimes you don't have a lot of money. So you need to be careful what you spend your money on. I hope you're all having a lovely time, and I hope you're all safe, and as I keep saying, keep reaching out to me, to Mehron, to Treasure House, to anyone else, to Seventa Makeup Academy. Keep reaching out, please. If you need, send us makeup, send us images. If you need makeup, Mehron are in the office. They can send you stuff, all by courier. But keep creating, keep safe please, and keep creating. It's very important to keep creating. So I'm adding my finishing touches, ladies and gentlemen, to my bruise. I could be here till next week if I'm not careful. As I love bruise work. It's really hard because I can't actually see properly, but now I tend to work on, I do it this way, then I go that way, then I go this way. Don't drag, stipple, okay? Which means you keep layering the color. You keep layering those colors. Okay. Oh, it's not bad. I like that. Right. So, let's, as I said, we're going to add a little bit of a scratch. So, we are working with Fresh Scab by Ben Nye, and we are working with, what's it called? Congealed Blood by Mehron. Okay. Now I now use a little metal tool to put my, and it's going to be very, very little, because I don't want a lot, okay? I'm only going to put it here. That's the fresh, that's the Ben Nye one. And now we shall be adding the Mehron one, which is a little bit more gloopy. Okay, so there you go, there you go, there we are. So what we've done, to recap, everyone. Oops. Let me just get my brush, I just dropped my brush again. Oh, there we go. Right, so what we've done, we have worked with Mehron Pro Coloring Bruise. We've worked with Bdellium brushes. In this case I used 193 and I used 136. We've worked with Fresh Scab by Ben Nye, and we've worked with Congealed Blood by Mehron. All this comes from Treasure House of Makeup, and we've created a bruise out of kit caused by a whiplash with the seatbelt pushing me back as I came forward. So I hope you all have a great day. Thank you very much for watching and for your love and attention. Keep safe, and I will be back at 2 o'clock on Wednesday. Take care. Bye bye.